Sal Paolantonio is the author of a new book called Philly Special, and it's the inside story of how the Eagles won their first Super Bowl championship. Now on sale online, wherever books are sold. Sal Pal, good to talk to you. Where are you this morning?
I am sitting outside the NovaCare facility in the Philly furnace known as South Philadelphia. It's going to be pretty bad Thursday night at the confluence of I-95 and the Schuylkill Expressway in the concrete jungle of South Philly. Going to be hot and humid. Going to be a rough night.
All right, as far as the team itself, Doug Peterson's already been a little testy with the media over who's starting, and we can get to that. But the overall assessment of this team after the Super Bowl hangover is, how good are they this year?
I think they're going to be better on defense. I don't think they're going to be better on offense. Now, they were third in the league in points allowed last year and third in the league in points scored. And I think you'll see that sort of come together a little bit. So they're not going to score 28.3 points per game. Their leading rusher is in Detroit. Their leading receiver from last year, Alshon Jeffrey, hasn't practiced. He's still recovering from shoulder surgery. They're going to have to make do with a lot of double tight end sets, a lot of formation variation. I'm giving you some matchup jargon now. I know it's a little early for that kind of stuff. I apologize. But they're going to have to do a lot of shifts and motions, get creative. I think you'll see a little Chip Kelly light. In other words, 2.1 seconds, get the ball out of your hands. I think you'll see a lot more RPO than you did last year. I think with that combination of creativity, they'll manufacture some points. But they're not going to bully anybody on the line of scrimmage because they just don't have that back. And they're not going to be pyrotechnic because they just don't have that wide receiver. Mike Wallace has really shown very, very little in training camp and this summer at all. And he still can run a 9 route. He can still occupy a safety deep, and that may help you control the hashes with the rookie Dallas Goedert and the Pro Bowl tight end Zach Ertz. But they're not going to light the scoreboard up. Defensively, their secondary is going to be good, Dan. It's going to be really, really good. So it's always been a smart secondary with Malcolm Jenkins and Ronnie McLeod. But now you got some young, hungry corners. Ronald Darby's real hungry. He's in a contract year. This kid, Avonte Maddox, they got out of Pitt, can play. If he was 5'11", he'd be a first-round pick. He's got speed, inside quickness. He's tough. He'll hit you in the mouth. Sidney Jones is coming back from that Achilles. He can play. Rasul Douglas, he's from East Orange, New Jersey. He brings that attitude. So they got some corners, some young corners. They're going to play well in the secondary. They really are.
Coach Peterson, a little testy with a reporter the other day, and this is how it sounded.
Hey, Doug, have you made a decision on who will be your starting quarterback, and if so, who is it?
First of all, I appreciate y'all putting words in my mouth this week, and therefore, I'm not going to discuss it.
How were words put in your mouth?
You saw the reports.
What report?
Next question. Next question.
Who here put the words in?
Next question.
So, Sal, why is Coach so testy about this?
You know, I've covered Doug since he was a quarterback here under Donovan McNabb. I never thought I would say these words. Doug Peterson was channeling his inner Drew Rosenhaus. I mean, come on.
Wow.
We're not at war with Doug Peterson here. It's a love affair. It's a marriage that continues, a honeymoon that continues to go on and on and on and on and on. So I don't understand. And he's pushed all the right buttons for the last 2 years. He went rogue on us on Sunday. It was honestly very out of character. I'm not going to hammer him over it, Dan, because you know he has been very accessible and given us a lot of, good inside information about the team and really opened up. And he pushed, like I said, all the right buttons last year. So, he gets a mulligan on that one, but, it wasn't pretty. Now he's got a press conference here coming up in a couple of minutes in NovaCare. So I'm anxious to see how how he handles today.
Yeah, why don't you just bring it up? Why don't you say, Coach, can you give me a time frame on Carson Wentz coming back, please?
Actually, why don't I just go straight to, hey, why the Drew Rosenhaus act? See how far that gets me.
Next question. The book is Philly Special, and of course that led to a touchdown for Nick Foles. Why'd you pick that as your title? When did you start thinking about the book?
Well, the title was picked by the publisher, and I thought they did a smart thing. The book has really resonated nationally because the team really became America's team last year, and for a lot of different reasons. I started thinking about the book when they were on the 9-game win streak, and then I shelved it, obviously, when Carson Wentz got hurt. And I honestly, when you're underdogs to the Falcons and the Vikings and the Patriots, you're not thinking about writing a book about a championship team. And then it just happened real quickly. It's like publisher sent the contract, and I went on this labor of love. And the book's not for me, Dan. I covered the team for a quarter of a century, 25 years. When you do something like that, as you know, you miss a lot of Saturday night dinners. You miss a lot of Sundays with your family for 25 years. So the book's for my family. The guy who cuts my hair is an Eagles fan. The guy who cuts my lawn, my mailman's an Eagles fan. And for 25 years, they've asked me the same questions about the team. And I really wanted to write a book that was the definitive inside account of the first Super Bowl championship and leave it as a legacy and give it to my family as a thank you. And I think the book really resonates with people because it was an underdog story, a national underdog story.
Well, congrats on it, and I wish you nothing but success. And I know you got to go. Is the meeting starting in a couple of seconds here with Coach Peterson?
Doug's about to take the stage here in about 30 seconds.
Okay, all right.
But I'm good, Dan. It's the Dan Patrick Show.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm on with Dan Patrick.
I don't want you to get in trouble.
Good idea.
Yeah, I don't want you to get yelled at by anybody at the mothership there, so.
Definitely not. It's been a long and beautiful ride. I want to keep it that way.
Yes, absolutely.
Thanks for having me on the program and supporting the book. I really appreciate it.
Thank you, Sal. Sal Paolantonio, ESPN NFL national correspondent and author of Philly Special. That's nice. Good for him.
For more Dan Patrick Show, tune to Audience Channel 239 on DirecTV or download the Dan Patrick Show app.